Hello folks, here's my second Hamilton's Invaders video. This is a variety of pieces I bought for display. I keep all this stuff on the shelf, different shelves of course, and I'll go over each piece and let you know what's going on with it. Now these six here are all six of the Blue Defenders. This is a different set than the one that's with that 12-piece playset that I showed in the last video. Uh, I keep all of that stuff together in that 12-piece playset, so nothing I show after that will have been taken out of that set to show. I'm not going to go over all the sculpts on these soldiers because I did that in that video. So if you want to see those soldiers up close, the Blue Defenders, you can watch the Hamilton's Invaders 12-piece playset video that I did. Now let's go with these pieces here. Here's the Dwarf Tank. Bought this from an eBay seller. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, I guess. And this is another pull string toy. You pull the string out and it's got a motor that will drive it. And it still works the last time I tried it. I'm not going to pull this out because the problem with these pull string motors, I don't know how resilient they are to age. I mean, I know there's not an issue with batteries or anything like that. But, you know, they have springs in them. And I noticed the spring already quit working in that Hornet helicopter that drives the rotor. So I don't want to get into a situation where I pull this string out to use it, you know, to make the toy move. And then the motor goes out on me and then I'm stuck with a string that is extended that won't retract. And that's looks pretty crappy for display, you know, so I'm not going to do that. We'll just look at them without pulling strings. Here is the pilot, or the driver for the tank. Even these little guys are sculpted really great. About the time I get, there you go. About the time I get ready to grab that backing board to block it so it'll focus, then it focuses. But you know, you get the idea. They really went above and beyond at Remco with the quality of these toys. And this has some chrome on it, this tank does, and of course, you know, you can raise that, and the chrome has pretty much worn off of that barrel because I guess it went through some play where the kids grabbed it and it wore the chrome off. And there's a little bit of chrome missing there on that the pilot or driver area there. And it's got one of the shells, thank goodness, so I can actually shoot it. And it still shoots. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If that, you know, stops working, that's just a spring in the barrel. That's not going to be any huge deal. Basically, you just load it like that. Push this down and, you know, it still shoots pretty well. Probably go, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 feet, maybe farther. And I had one of these as a kid. It came in my 17-piece set that I got for Christmas in 1964 when I was 5. But it didn't fare well over the years. See, these are made of hard plastic, and when they throw around in toy boxes, they start getting broken. And so anyway, I never had one of these as a kid. I bought this from the same seller on eBay. This is the Mosquito Jeep. It's very much like the Dwarf Tank, and these have cool little stickers on them too. Little Hamilton's Invaders stickers there. So it's kind of stating the obvious. Hamilton's Invaders science fiction. They really played up that science fiction angle there. And here's the driver area. And you know, it's got a little missile in there you can shoot, and this gun still works too. I already showed you the Dwarf Tank, so I'm not going to do that. And here is a little trailer hitch back here. As far as I know, they didn't come out with an accessory. Maybe they were planning on it or something to be pulled along. And here's the pull string, little plastic piece that you grab for the pull string that drives this little motor in the back. And there's the bottom of it. It says Remco there. And all in all, these were just great toys. I had great fun with this stuff when I was a kid. I was ecstatic to find that huge 17-piece set from Sears under the Christmas tree in 1964. And here is a Remco pistol. This is like supposed to be like a laser pistol, you know. Now, this is the Hamilton's Invaders version of that. There's the little Hamilton's Invaders sticker there. But they also made other versions of this. I think they made a Lost in Space. And they also made one that was not branded. It was kind of generic, like a ray gun or whatever. Now, these took batteries. And you put the batteries in there. And I think it was like 2 C batteries. And I didn't put batteries in it for this because it doesn't do much. When you pull the trigger there, when the batteries are in, basically it's got a little bulb in here that shines like a flashlight. And it's got a lens there that's different colors that you can turn this. Let's see, you can turn this and it will show different color beams of light depending on where you got it set, you know. And it makes a buzzing sound when you shoot it. It's pretty cool. But I don't like to leave batteries in toys for one thing, and it makes it really heavy, and I've got it up on some stuff, and I don't want it to fall off and break something. So I just play it safe and leave the batteries out of that thing. Now here are the boxed toys. This is the Hamilton's Invaders grenade pistol, and it's still in the original cello, it looks like, albeit it's got a couple of tears. This end is a little bit torn and that, but you know, this is holding up pretty good. You know, this toy came out in 1964, so it's been quite a while back. So what's that, 58 years ago, right? For an almost a 60-year-old toy. Here's the back. It has some instructions. Repair charges. You could actually send this to get it repaired. Service. For service on your Hamilton pistol, return pistol only. Send under separate cover $1.30 in check or money order to cover cost of handling and mailing. And I guess they'd fix it for you. I don't know how long that offer lasted, but they probably stood by it for a while anyway, because they were on the up and up at Remco. They were high quality toy company, you know. At least as good as Mark's, probably. You know, the quality of their toys surpassed Mark's, really. They were expensive for the time, but they were high quality. And there's a good look at the grenade pistol. When you see those grenade pistols on eBay, usually they don't have the original box, and people still want a lot of money, maybe a couple of $100, maybe more. A lot of times they're missing the grenades. The grenades are much harder to find than the pistols, and usually there's a lot of chrome wear on those pistols when you find them for sale. And I got really lucky on this one. I got it for $125. I bought it some years ago, like about 8 years ago, from the same guy that sold me the helmet. And he listed it on eBay at $125, and I thought, man, you know, even back then, that was a heck of a deal for one in a box. So, yeah, I went ahead and grabbed that. And then he got in touch with me, said he was going to list his helmet here. And he listed that for $125, and I grabbed it. Now, the helmet is really cool. Let me get this up here closer and show it to you a little bit better. It's in this window box. I don't think they ever had cello on this because it isn't a window box. And it's still got the window in it there. And you can see there, it's still got the original sticker on it and the chin strap. Original chin strap is in there, kind of behind the helmet there. You can see through the goggles. The goggles aren't pitted or anything. I don't think this was ever taken out of the box. There's the side of the box with non-shattering goggles. There's the back. Of course, it's got a picture of Horrible Hamilton on it there. He was like the main toy for the line. And there's that side. And here is the top. And usually when these come up, they don't have the box, for one thing. And even if they have the box, a lot of times they don't have the insert, the cardboard insert there, which is a big part of the presentation. If they don't have that insert, you just got a plastic helmet flopping around inside a pretty big box. And it doesn't look nearly as cool. And even when they do have the box, a lot of times it's, you know, beat to heck and the window's missing, and you know how that goes. I mean, that's just standard for older toys. When you see the loose helmets on eBay, actually there were two colors. There were this blue color, metallic blue, which is what that one is, and then there was a black one. I think the metallic blue is a little bit more sought after and a bit more expensive than the black. Could be wrong about that, but it seems like you see them, you see as many of one as you do the other, which really aren't that many. You don't really see them too often. Usually they don't have the box. Usually that sticker is missing. Sticker's actually on that helmet. It's just faded a little bit. And usually those goggles are like dented in and pitted, where kids have shot them with BB guns, I guess, or thrown rocks at each other while they were wearing it or whatever. Usually those things are just, you know, beat to crap. But that one is amazingly nice. Like I said, I got it for 125 bucks from that guy, so I couldn't believe my good fortune on that. Now a comparable item would, you know, in that nice a condition, in the box with the insert and the sticker still stuck on the thing, and plastic window intact. I mean, it probably, I don't know, $500, $600, $700 maybe. And here's the centerpiece of my Hamilton's Invaders collection. This is Horrible Hamilton. And you notice the one I showed before in my playset had an antenna broken off. Well, this one is complete. And it doesn't have any egregious glue stains on the side there the way a lot of them do. It's got, the string is tight. It actually works. The last time I tried it worked, but like I said, I'm not pulling any strings. These are just for display. Even if it didn't walk, it would still do the same thing. It'd sit on the shelf and I'd admire it. So, and everything is intact about it. You know, the mandibles work just fine. It's got the eyes, it's got the nose. There's no breaks in the body. It's not faded, it's not dirty. Still works. I gave $300 for that. Now, the guy that I bought that from, I also bought the Dwarf Tank and this Mosquito Jeep from, and these 6 Blue Defenders. He had the Horrible Hamilton. Now, this was like about, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. He had the Horrible Hamilton listed for $500 on Buy It Now, and a minimum bid auction for $300. Well, toward the end of the auction, I bid on it, and I was the only one. Because $300, you know, it's a lot of money for a scarce toy, and sometimes you get lucky and you don't get any competition, and other times you get people with deep pockets that drive the price up to crazy amounts on stuff like that that's so scarce. In that condition, Horrible Hamiltons may be legitimately rare, because everyone you see is damaged to one extent or another, and most have extensive damage. And they still sell for $100, $200, you know, even in lesser condition, which is by far mostly what you see them in. The guy had this Dwarf Tank. I think I ended up giving like $75 for that. And I was happy with that because I had one of those as a kid in that 17-piece set that I had. It was great to get that piece back in my life. And I never had owned this Mosquito Jeep, and it's really nice. And everything works on it, you know, the pull string and everything. And I think that was 75 as well. And then I got these soldiers real cheap. I mean, he had them on a minimum bid for all 6 of them for like $30 or something like that, and nobody else bid on them. So that on eBay now, these soldiers sell generally around $10 each if they're not damaged. You know, if they're in nice shape, and most of them you see are nice because they're hard to damage really. And sometimes you see them for like $15 or $20 each now. You hardly ever see the whole set of 6 really, but you might see them, you know, in a set of 6 for, I don't know, 60, $75. These little pistols here, I think you can probably still get these when they ever come up. You know, if it was the generic one, maybe $50. Now the Lost in Space one and this Hamilton's Invaders one, providing it works, which this one does, and you know the bulb in it's still good, and it'll still shoot the beam and buzz and all that crap when you got the batteries in it. Yeah, it's probably closer to like $100 piece now, and I don't know if those were ever boxed. I don't recall ever seeing a box for those. I'm sure they must have been, but I don't know if it was like a shipping box or like a decorated box or what. I only ever see them loose. So if anybody knows if those type of pistols were boxed, let me know in the comments. And this is just a fan-made item here. This is a patch that's got the symbol of, you know, for Hamilton's Invaders science fiction on it. Just a sewn patch. And I just got that to put on the shelf with the other things. I thought it was pretty cool. It was cheap. It was like $8, so never see those much anymore. Those popped up and came and went. But there you go. That's just a few of the display items of, you know, my Hamilton's Invaders collection, and some idea as to the market on some of that stuff. And hope you got something out of the video. And I got another Hamilton's Invaders video coming up with a custom playset.